Isn't she lovely? Welcome back to the Golf Supply, everyone. Today's video, DF3 review. Myself and Westy went down to Scottsdale recently to their same day build lab fitting studio and got fit for the new LAB DF3s. If you're not familiar with what the LAB DF3s are, they are the big brother, they are the predecessor of LAB's infamous DF2.1, Directed Force 2.1. LAB standing for Lie Angle Balanced. Everybody loved the performance of the DF2.1. Everybody despised the looks, and for good reason. The footprint of it was absolutely massive. It put so many people off, and people couldn't even get past the aesthetic. People wanted the performance, but just couldn't get past the aesthetic of it, and I don't blame them. So they've rectified it with this, the DF3. It is a miniature version of the DF2.1, but with all of the same technology packed into it, and we're here today to give it a good test. So I've also brought my TaylorMade Spider and my Ping PLD, which are my other two putters in my rotation, down here because I just want to get an up-close slow-mo just to see how stable this thing really is. Now, the early signs are extremely good. We've got a couple of videos coming out of me using this, which is genuinely going to blow your mind. But I still want to put it under the test. I want to get some close-ups of the DF3, the Spider, and the PLD, and also just... LAB said something on their website that caught my attention. They said, if you hit this out the toe or the heel, it will feel exactly the same and perform exactly the same as hitting it out of the sweet spot. So I'm going to put that to the test as well. If you're new to our channel, consider subscribing. I hope you enjoy this review. Get down in the comments and let me know what colour of the DF3 that you would get as well. I'm sure there won't be many pink comments. But let me hit some putts, warm up, and then we'll get straight into this. Right, warm up done. Let me just break a few hearts at the start of this video. Having this thing in the bag, as much as you'd like to believe it, or as much as you might like to hear, doesn't mean that you're going to hole every single putt that you look out on the golf course. Sorry to break it to you, to be the bearer of bad news. Just exactly the same as if you get a TaylorMade Spider, you're not going to hole everything, or if you got like a bladed putter like a Ping PLD, you're not going to hole everything. You might think it's going to look like this. So sorry to break it to you, it will not look like that, no. But what it will do is 100% help your start line, your face control. Distance control can be a little bit iffy on these if I'm being completely honest, but I've had, like I said at the intro of this, I've had a couple of rounds of this now and it is honestly blew my mind just how good it is. Let me just jump into the specs, let you know what I've got. So as you can just make out across the top of the putter there, mine is 34 inches at a 69-degree lie angle, and it's a heavy head. Now, more so than any other putters, it is imperative that you get fit for these LAB putters. You can do it from home. They have like a home fit-in where you can measure the lie angle up against a 90-degree angle wall or a door frame. We personally went down to Scottsdale over in Manchester and got fit for them and same day built, which is obviously a great option if you're here in the UK. But it's so important. These putters will not work properly for you if you do not get them fit. So I'm not going to beat around the bush with regards to price, just as I hit a few putts up to this flag up there. I believe off of the top of my head, mine and Westy's putters each come in at around $700 to $800. Now, of course, we had quite a lot of customization done on ours, which is available at LAB, which I think is fantastic. The customizable options compared to any other putter is insane. You can get probably 7 or 8 different colored heads. You can get your name, your logo, whatever you want on the back, all laser etched into the back. You can pick from about 500 different sight lines. You can pick what shaft you want, or obviously get fit to what shaft you want. And there's loads of different grip options and head cover options. So it's quite easy to rack that price up from, I think the standard RRP is around about £400. I suppose LAB sort of know their market and know how good their product is, and they can kind of just charge what they want to charge. Because I think as soon as you go to a fitting and you putt with this and you see the results and you see the data, they do have you hook, line and sinker, because there's just no way you're going back to your old putter in your bag. I do think it's that good. And of course, lie angle balance, for those who don't know what that is, Here's a visual demonstration for you. You might have seen the explainer that LAB do sometimes. It's a contraption that they put the putter in, they stroke it right and left, and literally the face does not move. But you can just see, if I put it in my hands here, how it is just face balanced, i.e. the face is pointing straight at you. If I get something like my ping, which luckily I have here for you, and I hold that face so it is pointing at you, then I let go of the shaft. So that is toe hang. That is a toe hang putter. You can see I point the club face directly at you, I let go, and it falls back. So what the LAB does extremely well, and it does better than anything on the market, and it definitely will improve your putting, is if you're someone who don't have much face control, or you tend to sort of like hook the putts closed, or you slice your putts, or you leave the face open or shut, having a lie angle balanced putter, i.e. a LAB, is going to get your ball starting online so much more consistently. Right, so let's put the old stroke under some scrutiny then, shall we? I've set up a camera directly behind me. We've got probably a 5-foot putt here, pretty much dead straight. If anything, it's just inside left. And I just want to hit the rest of these balls, 5 balls with the DF3, and then just hit 5 with the TaylorMade Spider, just so you can see, or see if you can see any difference in my stroke. I can't really recommend it enough, is when you're on the putting green, especially with this putter, with the way that I've had the graphics designed on the top, the alignment is literally the width of a ball, and then I've got a second line that comes right out the back of it. Like this bit here on the putter, I mean, you can choose from about 500 different options of exactly how you want it. But I got the white line across the top to be the exact thickness of the golf ball, and then just the straight alignment line coming out of the back of it. And for me, that just really helps with just hitting the back of the ball. And that's why it works. It goes sort of hand in hand, lovely, with having something like a triple track or a tour stripe. It's a wider stripe, and you feel like you can just donk it on the back of that stripe, and it's just gonna start online, automatic, semi-automatic, Mr. Erratic, let's go. I feel like I can just put that behind the ball and just hit the back of the ball. Sometimes you'll misread it, of course. Sometimes you might get a bit of bad luck on the old winter greens, but hopefully down the line you'll see the difference in this. See, that just went straight left on the green. So you'll see this, the difference between this and other putters that I've used. My stroke should look much more stable with this. It certainly feels it. One more. That was a nice putt. So you go 4 out of 5, one with a bit of dodgy greens, and inside 5 foot or around about 5 foot, hitting 4 out of 5 putts. For me, for people who watch the channel enough, for me, you know that's pretty good odds. But let's go into the Spider, see how that does. But I can already feel, and hopefully you can see it from the behind the line camera, it is a lot more shaky, this stroke. Even though the result's good, it's starting on line, they're going in, it doesn't feel anywhere near as sort of routine to get that ball straight back and straight through. I mean, I'll make 5 out of 5 now when I make the LAB look bad, but it certainly doesn't feel like it's as easy. I feel like I've got to work a little bit more, and that definitely feels like it's moving a little bit more on the backstroke. When you will see the big difference. Okay. See, that was a little push. I didn't have any that were push or pulls with the LABs. When you will see a big difference is with that PLD, the old blade putter. Like it's moving down a rapids when I stroke it. And as I alluded to just a second ago, the head cover game on these is really good. You've got a real thick leather premium head cover on this, and it is double thick, lined on the inside as you'd expect. Strong head cover game. But just so I do a little round the world, trying to make every single putt with my new LAB putter, I'm going to test, whoa! I am going to test what it is like before we end this video, out of the toe and the heel, because I am intrigued to see if I do hit it right out of the toe or right out of the heel, is it actually going to perform the same as if I hit it relatively middle for my standard anyway. As you can probably tell from this review so far, I like it. Right, so I set it up 5 balls, one starting at about 3 feet, 5 feet, 7 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet. First one I'm going to set up right out of the toe and just put my normal stroke on it. That's actually a bit mental. That felt like the centre still. Right, let's go ultimate heel. Wow, that's probably impressed me most about this putter. Let's go back to the toe. That is crazy. Okay, that one I felt like it opened up a little bit. Have to hit it a little bit harder. The closer ones I got away with. Out of the heel. That's mental. That is absolutely mental. That's what, a 9-foot putt hit straight out of the heel, and it started straight on line. Last one, out of the toe. That was such a good putt out of the... That's impressed me the most. I want to do this outro and final reviews really consciously, because I'm fully aware that spending 400, 500, upwards of £600 on any golf club, even though we're seeing drivers getting there as standard retail now in the £500 mark, it's an extreme amount of money for anyone, I would say. But if you are fortunate enough, or if you've worked hard enough that you can afford to spend that money on a golf club, then I would argue that there's no better golf club to spend it on than a putter. It's going to save you the most strokes, it's going to get your handicap down the quickest. It's the club that you use most on a round of golf. So this LAB is the real deal. It genuinely is the real deal. You are going to make more putts. You are going to lower your scores. There's so much customizable stuff that you could do in this. You could make it a one of one, which I think is fantastic as well. When you go and buy a Ping 10K for 530 quid or something, it is the same club as what everyone else potentially has. Whereas one of the great things I think about this is you can literally make this one of one, which I think softens the blow a little bit of spending that much money on a putter like this. It's brilliant. It is absolutely fantastic. It's everything we wanted the DF2 to be in a much smaller footprint. Feel off the face is fantastic. Stableness is fantastic. Start line is fantastic. Looks is fantastic in my opinion as well. Head cover's fantastic. It is a real winner, this club. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more golf reviews and course vlogs. This has been the LAB DF3. It's staying in my bag. It ain't going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know where the cover is. I threw it, didn't I? See you later.